So if it's a response to the question about data.
That was data.
I would.
Veteran status can be data. Right?
That was data, right?
I want to move to another topic, but so if it's a data, something specific to data for Rochelle. Keith.
I think there should actually be a data referring to, you know, the racial makeup of the arrest of the officers, and to see if there is a higher number of, you know, black people or you know, people from, you know, other countries, or just, you know, and you can really see if these people, these police are more targeting certain, specifically going after people due to race.
So is he talking about demographics?
You know, because there are certain neighborhoods that might have more black people, so obviously they're going to deal with more black people in that neighborhood. But there's a lot of areas like southeast Portland, like Felony Flats, where a lot of the people are white. So if you still see the same officer and they're mainly targeting black people, or black people are coming up, or you know, Latinos or whatever, it could show that this police officer is biased towards and doing racial profiling. And also, I think, you know, any officer with complaints by mentally ill people against them, or that have been involved in police shootings and, you know, really escalated situations, I think they should be pretty much on a blacklist, where they're never called to deal with mentally ill people, and where they're never called to deal with intense situations like
how would you do that? I mean, how would you know if the person making a complaint was mentally ill or not?
Hiring process.
It's more, you know,
Well, you could have a disability registry.
If someone calls and says, my son's mentally ill, he's in crisis mode, he's barricaded in his bedroom, then don't have any officers like Kyle Nice or people who have killed mentally ill people come to there, or, you know, Crash Hour or people like that. Like, maybe they could actively see who's good at de-escalation on the force, because there are some cops that are actually pretty good at de-escalation and that are known for de-escalation, and you could probably get certain names from a lot of the cop watchers and people in the community and community activists that have actually dealt with the police a lot and know by name the ones that are more the ones that escalate a situation and de-escalate a situation.
Also, there is I don't know if you've heard of it, there is like an organization called TIPS. Has anyone heard of that? And they come on the scene to deal with mental crisis, like that young 11-year-old that was out there near, like, I think it was 162nd and Burnside, out that way. He crossed the line and got hit by a car, you know. That's what they do. They come to aid to mental crisis situations before the cops get there. You can look them up online, and I can also get her information and put it on my Freedom Riders for Justice for All page too as well.
Yeah, I just want to say one thing. Statistically, what I would like to see is when officers are involved, because not officers are doing are assaulting citizens, we all know that. But when officers, like the sister from my mom, or James Chassie or Aaron Campbell, they should be mandatory drug tested if they use excessive force to kill someone. Mandatory on the spot. Right. Drug tested. Because a person could be high on cocaine and you guys don't even know it. It could be out of system in 3-4 days and y'all wouldn't know it. They need to be a mandatory drug test on the scene, or when they get back to next shift, mandatory drug test if anyone is physically assaulted by an officer or a police involved shooting. mandatory drug test.
30 seconds.
Oh, I guess that's one thing you were saying, data that might be relevant. I get that you don't want to give exact addresses, but it might be helpful, like at least cross streets or something, because yeah, if you're getting in like a ton of excessive force things in a 20-block radius, then yeah, you want to know, like, okay, obviously the cops in this neighborhood are like, you know, doing things different. So, you know, obviously you don't want to give people's personal address, but maybe at least if you could have cross streets or some idea geographically of like how close these calls are.
Shorter than that, say we have 950 officers, is that about right? Okay, I want 950 loyalty oaths that they do not belong to a Nazi party or any hate organization. As a hate bias prevention, maybe we can get DOJ to coordinate that through their Office of Civil Rights. Number two, procedurally, anybody like the procedural idea that if we somebody has a good idea, like I think Felix had a good idea, if we just did a little symbolic vote to represent democracy, and we could express our outrage or our, you know, pros and cons and kind of see what the room balance is, and do it just kind of as a game to test the public sentiment.
Taser within certain commands, and to the extent it's used, and there's no, I don't think they're keeping any medical records of what's happened to the victims of tasering. I don't think there's any data.
Or head injuries from tasering.
And it's a huge issue because you can have impacts that we're not even accustomed to reporting, and there's serious impacts from use of those. And I see the culture as disregarding it as, oh, I tasered myself 3 times, it didn't work.
That's exactly what they're saying.
And so, is there a pattern under certain leadership?
Epilepsy.
We should gather from data somehow that those tasers are being used.
All right, we're going to move to